been mined from the earth, everything that's sitting in jewelry boxes all over the world, particularly in the United States, is still there. So it's a source. And these diamonds are no older than the ones that you buy brand new. Right? So we have diamonds from the secondary market beginning to enter into our businesses in a way that's never really happened before. And the future is huge for that. Huge. There's plenty of business there. The other thing that we're up against is what I call, there's a lot of, the bulk of the diamond business today in America, and that's what I know best, as I said before, is in bridal. It's in rounds. And all of you are in that business. It's arguably the noisiest business there is. So to make a name in that business for yourself, to make a niche in that business for yourself, arguably might be one of the toughest things you can do. You might think seriously about creating some other sources of revenue around diamonds. We know that there are other things that diamonds are known for. We know that, for instance, in rating systems, diamonds higher than platinum, platinum's higher than gold, gold's higher than silver, silver's higher than copper, right? Diamond is superlative. Diamond is an exceptional thing. 4 diamond restaurants, 4 diamond hotels, okay? That means something to people. So diamond has meaning. How can you translate that meaning into areas of people's lives other than just engagement? That's interesting to me. People are worried about demographics all the time. The demographic I've been saying since I started in this business, because I love diamonds, and I wear diamonds myself. If you're worried about demographics, just the broadest brush will tell you, half of the people out there are not served. Men. Who markets directly to men? Who? Anybody? Anybody got any kind of campaign that says, I got a diamond just for you? You deserve a diamond. Here's why you deserve a diamond, for achievement, for whatever. You got engaged, you deserve one too. How about a little equality here? Do I hear that anywhere? No. It's half the marketplace. You got a percentage of that, you're a billionaire. Nobody's going after it. Nobody I know. Why? What am I gonna do? You look like a nice hunky guy, you know? Kind of bold guy, I got just a diamond for you. It's called a princess cut. You gotta make something for it if you want it. So here's where I come into the picture. This is what I do for a living, is I sit at the wheel and I think about weird stuff like this. What the market looks like, what it could look like, what it looked like in the past, how we can tell stories that nobody else is telling. These are the things that are interesting to me. And I dwell on it, and I think about it, and then I go look stuff up. Anyway, I've seen a resurgence of, among the sort of, what do they call it? Designer jewelers / marketers of industrial grade that is now gem quality. You guys familiar with this? Mm-hmm. Slices are diamond name only. They got all kinds of junk in them. They're orange and brown. It used to sell for $1 a carat. Now selling for $3, $4, $500 a carat. I can think of brands that have made business off of stuff that I used to get for free. Okay, now I can't buy it. You know? Anyway, rose cuts have come back with a vengeance. A lot of it's Indian goods, Indian made, and it's low quality. Doesn't have to be, but it is. This is something that I invented, I call the American Rose Brunner. It's got a rose cut on top. It's got a brilliant bottom. Now this is a prototype. It's not what this looks like anymore. This is what I started with. The idea was to take a piece of tradition and marry it to a piece of modernity. and give people something that's a little bit different, but it's still what they want. It's what I call fancy round brilliance. So she wants something a little bit different than everybody else has. This is different, but it's still round, so she's not taking that deep plunge, you know, worrying about going off the tracks and buying something that isn't gonna work. And so I've developed this into a style that's based on historical precedent. The rose cut itself is not very brilliant because it has a flat bottom. All the light leaks out the bottom. This is stunning. Anybody wants to see me afterwards, I'll show you. It's unbelievable what it does, and the actual gemology behind it turned my head around. It makes the ideal cut not even make sense anymore. Because when you get rid of the table on a diamond, lots of interesting things happen. You no longer get fisheye stones, you no longer get this big glaring facet. There's a lot of things that you didn't think were problems that go away when you look at something like this. Interestingly enough, and let me just show you a little of the technology that goes into this. This is from AGS. The top row is that viewed under their asset scope on the left-hand side through their asset scope for light return of the top view, and then the next one is what they call a fire map for dispersion, and then the last one, actually the one on the right, is a scintillation map, essentially. Then each row is a 5-degree tilt. So you get 5, 10, 15, 20-degree tilt. So at a 20-degree tilt, when the modern round brilliant will just go dead on it. This thing blasts, because it doesn't matter where you stand in relation to it. It's got light entering it from all over the place, and it's coming back down. This is something that I developed initially for men. I call it the bullseye cut. It's a sports game, if you can't tell. It's a dartboard. Got a doubling ring, got a tripling ring. The bottom of it is cut just with 20 main facets, but there's a bullseye reflection of the table in the center. There is no bullseye. The bullseye is an image that's created by the cut itself. I actually almost sold this to Colt to put on their fancy gun collection stock, but they wanted it for nothing, so forget that. But this I designed for men, but it also is very apropos for, you know, Art Deco pieces. I've shown it in lots of, I also have a sample of, shown it in a lot of stores. A lot of the young guys like it because it's, to them it's more analytical looking. It's not foofy looking. You know, so you can sell a round that's not her round to him. And it's distinctly, you don't need a loop, you don't need to read the inscription, you can tell by looking at it that it's different. So, brand new. This is from a piece of equipment we call Diacal. So we can now, these are some of the things that have happened in the 21st century that go out to the future for us. We can now model diamonds on computer. We can make a GemCAD model of the diamond. We can then run it through a machine for light comparison. What will it do before we ever cut the stone? It was very cost ineffective to try to make any of these kind of diamonds 20 years ago. Because you actually had to do it in diamond. And you tried to do it in diamond, if it didn't work, you were out whatever half carat cost, or whatever a carat cost. And that's a lot of money. This isn't quarter. This isn't 10 cents a pop. This is thousands of dollars every time you try something. And it was just flat out cost prohibitive. Now you can do it, you can model it, and you can get exceedingly accurate results before you ever go to making the product. That's just your typical, that early Tolkowski light return on my bullseye. It's the same dimensions as a Tolkowski. 34.5 degree main on top, 40 3/4 bottom. All of it on 40 3/4 degrees. These are those, the one on the left is the bullseye. I think the one in the center is the Rose Brilliant, and the one on the right is an ideal cut. So you can see that they're different from one another. This is a prototype. This is what I got in my ear right now. This is a prototype of something that I'm really attached to. It's what I call a star brilliant. It's a 5-pointed star. And so you look in the table, you see a 5-pointed star in a round brilliant diamond. And that's it under Diamond Calc software under what they call disco lighting. So that is a wireframe version of it, then lit, and they can show you what the results are. And then I can take that on my computer and I can actually start tipping that around and turning it and everything. And then I can also adjust the angles and whatnot, because if I don't like it, it's got a little dead spot here, I want to see if I can change it a little bit. So you can do all of that with the computer. Where is my, hold on a second. So I want to talk about this for 1 second. So when I was working with Hearts on Fire, we were working on brands. I did a little coursework over at Harvard on branding in general, just as a concept. It's been around for a while.